Hello, and welcome to All the Best Bits, another audio commentary episode for a film that we chose as one of our best bits in a prior episode. This one came up twice. It came up in Whodunits, and it came up in character intros. So that's good. I'm getting there. That's good recall on my part.
It is.
And also, you know, a big shock or big surprise for everybody. I'm joined by my co-host. Can you guess who it is?
It's me. Hello. I'm so glad you said it came up in the Whodunit because I'm currently editing the Whodunit episode, and I thought, oh my god, we really should have mentioned the thing for Whodunits because it's such a Whodunit, and I've completely forgotten that we actually did mention it. I
mentioned it.
You did. I just haven't gotten to that part where you mentioned the thing. I just haven't got to that part of the edit. So behind the curtain stuff, folks.
Professional operation. But we're also joined by a guest, as has become the norm.
Oh my god,
and
who is it?
This time we have a returning guest, and it's somebody whose voice everybody loves to listen to. It's our guest from episode 3 of season 2, best World War II scene episode. It's Jamie Hannigan.
Good evening.
Oh Jesus, it's like someone wrapped velvet curtains around my head. Just listen to
it's like somebody wrapped a velvet rope around my neck and twisted.
Hello, Jamie. Great to have you back.
How is it going? You forgot best endings, but then
we've never done best endings yet.
No, well, that's right, you haven't. Well, when you do,
you should listen to the podcast, Jamie.
The things. What podcast? Well, when you do, the thing's going to be in there because this is one of my favorite endings in a movie.
Yeah,
it's great.
We're doing, as Jamie has alluded to, we're doing The Thing, John Carpenter's Thing. It's the second adaptation on the John W. Campbell Jr. novella Who Goes There? And this one is about American researchers in Antarctica who encounter the Thing, which is a parasitic extraterrestrial life form that assimilates and imitates other organisms. And the group, as they're overcome by paranoia and conflict, learn that they can no longer trust each other and that any one of them could be the Thing.
Amazing.
From 1982.
Recall. Amazing recall, Kevin. Amazing.
Thank you.
You just pulled that one out. Great film. Great film. My favorite Carpenter.
Mine too, I'd say.
Yeah, mine too.
Although I haven't seen Ghosts of Mars, so you know.
That's definitely gonna change the rankings for you, I reckon.
Someone has to have seen Ghosts of Mars. At least John Carpenter.
I've watched 40 minutes of Ghosts of Mars.
Oh, and is it really good?
Which 40 minutes?
It's not the 40 minutes that's going to be on my top John Carpenter films. I just put it like that.
I will not stand for John Carpenter slander.
No, he's great. He's great.
He's great. He is great.
But as per usual, we're going to sync the film up at a specific point, and on this occasion, we're going to sync it up at the start. So we're going to hit play. Are you guys ready?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
You count us in.
3, 2, 1, play.
I have a feeling that Jamie hit play about a second earlier than we hit play. It doesn't. No, or Kevin did it. Someone hit play. I heard someone hitting the button. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, almost certainly me.
No,
what I did is I quickly turned down the volume, and then I hit play.
Oh, it stars Kerry Russell. Kerry Russell's in this class.
Kerry Russell.
Oh, sorry.
Russell.
Kurt Russell. Sorry.
I'm humming the theme from The Hateful Eight, which that's my first of one of 2 trivia bits, which was that unused musical track for The Thing, ended up reusing it on The Hateful Eight. You can see
I remember that music from the DVD of The Thing. It used to be the menu music on the DVD.
Yes. This is the 3rd iteration of The Thing I have. I got it on VHS, on DVD, and now on my hateful Apple Music thing before they decided to delete it on me.
Wow.
Oh. Bill Lancaster, the son of Burt Lancaster.
No. Are you lying?
Yes.
Truth.
No, I'm telling the truth. Yeah.
Wow. See, I have no trivia for this.
This was his only real credit. I think he did Bad News Bears and then The Thing, and he never worked again after that.
What? Why? What happened?
He peaked. He peaked.
He's a screenwriter.
Yeah, he was just a regular working screenwriter.
Yeah, you can, 2 credits. What 2 credits? I mean,
what 2 credits?
This is like the opening to Predator.
I was just thinking the exact same thing. I was like going, yeah, be forgiven for thinking this is...
I was humming that theme tune in my head just there.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the Predator theme tune.
It's like the opening to Starman as well.
Oh, here's the title. Oh, lovely.
We did the commentary for Halloween recently, and there's 2 films that the teenagers are watching on the night. One being The Thing, with the exact same title opening, and the other one being, Kevin, do you remember this?
Forbidden Planet.
Forbidden Planet.
Of course I remember.
Yeah. I'm just urinating.
Yeah, Jamie just taking a whittle. Actually, Jamie, just move back a tiny bit from your mic, because I think you might be a little hot on the mic. That's only... Yeah, I say it now so that...
Okay. It's nice to be hot on the mic. Hot on something.
Jamie, for our listeners, it's true that Jamie does urinate wine. It's amazing. It's like he's so Mediterranean right now. That
apple cider vinegar.
Yeah.
So here we are. They filmed this in Juneau, Alaska. Or maybe this part was filmed in...
Finland?
Oh, no,
Norway.
No, in British Columbia.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
But some of this film was shot in... Most of it was shot in Alaska, am I right?
Yeah, Juneau, Alaska.
Oh
God, what was the Stewart, British Columbia.
That is beautiful. Look at those big, wide vistas, helicopters swooping in.
Vistas, such beautiful vistas.
Dean Cundy, lads. Dean
Cundy,
cinematographer. Also did Halloween.
Right.
Jurassic Park, yeah.
Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
Yes. Oh, he's something. He's got.
He
some
did
credits.
all of the early John Carpenter films.
Yeah, remember you told that great story about the loyalty where he did Halloween 2. Oh, the loyalty. Was that what you were saying? Am I right in saying that?
Yeah, he was offered Poltergeist, and he said, "I'd love to do it, but John Carpenter gave me my start, and I feel that I should do Halloween 2 as loyalty to his friend."
Fair enough. What a great opening. I remember watching this as a kid. This is for those who aren't, I suppose, watching along, this is the...
So how old were you when you first saw this film?
I'd say probably over the age of 10, below the age of 15. And it was one of these things where I'd, like with a lot of movies, I remember watching the first 15, 20 minutes before my parents saying, like, the school night, go to bed. Like, this, Die Hard, The Keep.
There we go.
Movies which have stayed with me. But this helicopter chasing the dog, looks so good.
It really draws you in. It really because it plays with your... Because we automatically have empathy for dogs in particular. So when a dog is being chased by a helicopter, it's great. It's great.
This was what I mentioned as a great character intro because, and you mentioned endings, Jimmy. This introduction mirrors how it ends.
Yeah.
So he's got the whiskey, he's playing chess, and this whole movie is going to be like a chess game.
Yeah, a very flashy chess game.
I was watching Red Letter Media today do a whole Carpenter breakdown of his films, and they made a really good point that this scene foreshadows what he does with The Thing later on, where he's trying to play chess.
First.
No, what you said something else. No, what they say is something totally different to what you said, Kevin, because I was going to reference you. What they said is that he basically is, I think what you say is quite good as well. What they said is like he's playing chess with the alien as the film goes on, but when the alien, and in this case, when the computer outwits him, he just fucking destroys everything. And in the movie, when the alien outwits him, he just fucking destroys everything. His reaction is just blow it to shit,
Yeah, but for me, it's like he's got the whiskey bottle. At the very end, he offers the whiskey bottle to Charles, and Charles accepts it, and he smiles after that, chuckles to himself, because he knows, and Charles knows, that if anyone remembered the Thing, and if you had paranoia for the other person being the Thing, you wouldn't accept the whiskey.
Unless he didn't give a fuck anymore, which you gotta accept at the beginning and end. Kurt Russell had zero fucks to give. He's a real honey badger for a lot of this film.
And originally he wasn't the lead of the film. He was just going to be another nondescript character.
No
way. When we
way.
went back in to edit the film, they decided to emphasize his character and sort of focus the movie around him.
Really?
Mm-hmm. It was going to be like another Ripley in Aliens, where
an ensemble
he
thing.
emerges. Yeah, total ensemble.
Oh wow!
But because it was all dudes and everybody was in parkers, and some of them had beards and some of them didn't, it was hard to sort of keep track. Unusually, there wasn't even any women on the crew. So they on the retrospectives of the film, they talked about this weird feral energy that was starting to brew amongst the cast and the crew, because they were just all dudes just together in a really inhospitable climate, away from everybody, and just starting to go a little stir crazy.
Oh, I can see that happening.
Okay, so the dogs are reaching the base now. Norwegians are dropping grenades on them.
Wow. It still looks so beautiful. It just all looks beautiful.
My memory, when I watched this 4 years ago, and my memory of it, there was one single shot in it which looked a little, I don't want to say fake, but it kind of broke the illusion. It was like a stop motion piece.
Stop motion thing at the end.
Near
the end.
Yeah,
but other than that, this movie just, it's so timeless. Like there's so little. I mean, even you might find that those special effects, I don't know, maybe
chewing gummy.
Pierce Ryan, our mutual friend, did give me an excellent piece of trivia for this when I was out with him last week. Which is that...
were you talking about us? Were you getting together and saying,
yeah,
I'm doing a Best Bits episode? Oh, I am as well.
He was spilling the beans.
On a little secret.
He was spilling the beans about you. He said, if you speak Norwegian, that this guy is saying that dog is an alien. And he said, like, if only any of them spoke Norwegian, the whole movie could have been ended right here.
Wow.
Which is probably not true, because even if you spoke Norwegian, the guy going like, hey, that's an alien dog, get away, I have to kill it. Look at this guy. He looks like an insane person.
Why would anybody have guns in Antarctica? There are no big predators there.
Yeah, that's true. No bears.
All you've got are penguins, and you're not really going to be defending yourself from a horde of penguins.
Kevin. Is the greatest predator of all. Man,
no.
A T.
Americans. They're Americans, Kevin. Oh my God, that's such a great piece of trivia. So that is what he's saying in Norwegian.
Thank you.
Allegedly. I don't think Pierce speaks Norwegian, so...
I've had full conversations with him. I've had full conversations where he's doing hurdy-gurdy voices, sounds to me, and I go, wow, impressive stuff, Pierce.
We have listeners from Norway, and Norway is my second favourite country in the world I've ever been to, so I will not stand for Norwegian slander.
Oh, I'm sorry, I don't mean to slander. I love the sound of Norwegians.
I am working with a Norwegian producer. And in fact, I was rewriting a scene today which was directly inspired by this movie.
Oh. Which scene?
The scene in my movie or the scene in this movie. I can't really... I won't say anymore. But
just in case, yes.
No, tell us, what is the scene in this movie?
Leave him be. He can't.
It's a movie that's shooting early next year, and it's set.
No, the scene in this movie. What's the scene that helped you?
It is.
I'm such a shithead. It's okay.
Yeah. No, but it's just like, you sort of think, I was like, oh yeah, that movie. It's more than amalgamation, and then if I try to pinpoint what it is, I'll find the exact scene. I could tell you, but I'm not going to.
Okay.
Oh,
did you ever notice that the Doctor has a nose ring?
Just only for the first time, because I'm watching it on Blu-ray right now. Oh my God.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
It means he's a punk.
Oh my God. Jesus, that's so unusual. It really is.
And that's the dude from Warriors.
Windows.
Yeah. He's
there
one of the
is Wilford Brimley, forever to be destined as
diabetes.
Well, as a young Tom Cruise, because that trivia that when he did Cocoon, he was the same age as Tom Cruise when he did like Mission Impossible 4 or something.
What? Yeah, he was in his early 40s when he did Cocoon. Yeah, he only died recently, Wilford Brimley.
Yeah.
Like in the last couple of years. Yeah. He's just one of these guys that came out of the womb an old man, like just smoking cigars and looking for a shot of whiskey.
He was quietly on Twitter for like up until very recently. I was following him.
No way.
I'd love to know
Here's our
whether a lot of
stoner
those
guy.
older
Yeah.
celebrities who are on Twitter are actually the ones tweeting.
Oh, I think so. I think some of them are. Like Carol.
Will Shatner is 90 and he's on there like just railing against people every so often, and I wonder, is that really him? Or
I think so.
somebody else.
I feel like Shatner would do that.
Chuck Yeager? Do you think that was him? I mean, not anymore, obviously, but...
Oh, he's on
reckon.
TikTok now. That's why.
yeah.
See how economical this film is, though? It's straight into it.
Yeah, dead Norwegian. They're all
The mystery's begun. What the hell just happened? And why did the Norwegians go crazy? Somebody's going to have to go out there and check on the Norwegians.
And like Agatha Christie was a direct influence for this film, because I think I read that in one of my few bit of notes is that I think John Carpenter did reference some whichever Agatha Christie story for.
And then there were none.
That's the one. Thank you, Jamie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Which is a little bit hokey. When we did Whodunits, it wasn't my favourite.
I think the murder of Roger Ackroyd is the real crowd pleaser one for her. That's great. This holds up really well still. Did you guys ever see the first adaptation of this?
Yeah, I did.
The thing from
what's it?
I watched it for jump scares because it has one of the very first jump scares, legitimate jump scares in movies. When they what?
What's it like? What's the original like?
It's good. It's very, it. What I love about those old 40s and 50s sort of monster movies is the lack of bombast. There's a very relaxing sense of like mood, and you'll have long periods of that sort of like. If you ever play a record on a vinyl, that crackly sound, and it's just that sound of that crackly sound of silence in these films that are quite stagey and quite staid, but they're really relaxing to watch. Mm-hmm. So that fits into that.
Which
it's
is
good. It's very
complete opposite of this, which is like where all those scenes where the dog is just like lingering underneath.
Yeah, he's got great performance by the dog.
Yeah, if we ever do like animal protagonist, there's a moment in this with a dog where
truly
he's really performing.
The only thing that throws me out of this film is McCready's hat with the wide brim hat, and with the rim tilted at the front. It's a bit too Three Amigos for me.
I think it's fucking cool. It's the irony of him. He's like in the coldest place on earth, and he's got his sombrero on.
There's that dog doing another cold stare.
Here we go. Watch. Is it this moment where the dog sort of
he's giving out about
walks in the hallway?
You turn that crap down.
I was shot.
He's a smart man. I would wear roller skates. After watching this, I'd be like, yeah, give me the roller skates. Okay.
Yeah.
I have a friend of mine, and I remember when we watched The Shining, and he was like, yeah, listen, apart from all the, the creepy kids and the ghosts, that looks like a really sweet job. I'd love to do that. I want to be a caretaker in a hotel in the middle of nowhere and be snowed off for like 4 months. It's like, that sounds perfect.
Jesus
I think I'd actually go stir crazy. I think that would actually happen for me. Look at this with the dog. He creeps in.
Oh, it's brilliant.
You can tell that he's looking and he's hunting. And
this is like close to the dog's eyes, looking shifty, just like in The Simpsons. That's how you know he's
insides. And this silhouette is by a non-performer in the film.
Oh, really?
In order for us not to be able to guess who it is, but I always thought that this was
the guy from the Warriors,
the guy whose chest opens up when he's getting the CPR. But it's not. It's just it's a member of the crew that they decided to put in silhouette so that you couldn't guess which actor it was,
right?
What character it was.
Oh, another beautiful wide vista of
vistas. So many vistas.
Alaska, we're guessing. North Columbia, British Columbia, somewhere. We should do research.
They shot in Juneau, Alaska, and Stewart, British Columbia. Those were the only two places. And they shot the interiors in Los Angeles in Universal Studios.
Oh yeah, it was baking, wasn't that right? It was absolutely baking. I'm right thinking.
Yeah,
they all got
on
like
refrigerated
really
sets.
So how long were they? How long were they on location here in the freezing cold for?
fairly long, because this film was one of the longest pre-productions and productions that Carpenter ever did, and he feels that the film benefited from that. That he had nearly a year of pre-production.
Filming lasted approximately 12 weeks, principal photography, in Alaska.
12 weeks just in Alaska?
So that's the exteriors.
That's just the 3 months
then,
oh, wow.
And then they moved to the Universal lot. Where we're talking about the temperatures were all over the shop.
And then filming there lasted 2 days.
Sorry, we're in trance with the movie there as they arrive at the Norwegian base. 2 days.
All the interiors were shot in 2 days. Fuck me.
But I guess this wasn't. Like, we just had a shot here where the helicopter lands and they walk. Okay, now they've cut to a different shot of them, which this is probably soundstage.
That's a set. Oh, yeah, it is definitely.
Yeah. Snow is a different consistency.
But the icicles and the stalactite, or not icicles, they look pretty cool.
They're too much like teeth.
True.
Oh, axe in a wall, never good. Why can't people just like put an axe down on the ground? No, we have to stick it. We have to like embed it in a wall. It's like, guys, that just looks like a lot of effort. It's effort to put it in. It's effort to take it out. Just put it on the ground. It's fine.
Honey, did you cover it in blood? No, darling. Cover it in blood so that our neighbours know they're welcome in any time.
There's something on fire in the room. Do you see that?
The flickering on the floor.
Yeah. Never noticed that before.
Kevin, when's the first time you saw this? Sorry, Jamie.
I saw this with my best mate growing up when we were about 12. And I was dead keen to see this because it had been one that I was aware of for years. And I had to wait until it was on TV. So, you know, you're waiting years and years and years for it to pop up. And one night it was. And we convinced David Murphy's mum to allow us to watch it. And she decided, well, I'll watch it with you. And so we watched The Thing together some summer night when I was about 12. And it lived
bless
up.
David Murphy's mum.
Yeah.
Oh, I love this shot of the frozen blood from your hands cut open wrists.
Oh my god.
Oh, this
I mean, he really hacked his own throat open.
Oh
this
my
guy
god.
really was making sure of it.
Jesus Christ.
Oh God, what the
There's
hell
got to be
happened
better
here?
ways to go. I mean, I would have just walked out into the snow and just laid down.
I remember from years ago watching the documentary behind this, the DVD, and they said, you know, Rob Bottin did all this sort of stuff, and either Kurt Russell or the people on set came in, they saw that prop of the guy having hacked his own wrists and stuff like that, and they said it looked ridiculous. And Rob Bottin was the only one who said, trust me, when we have this on camera, it'll look great.
How you light it.
Yeah, how you light it. And sure enough, it does look fantastic.
Random notes, completely unfrozen.
He was really young when he did this, Rob Bottin.
This is like one of his first big gig, wasn't it?
Because think of it, he played the Blake, the hook-handed zombie pirate in The Fog, who takes the samurai sword and basically chops down the priest at the end. That was Rob Bottin. And then he went on to do this, and Carpenter basically gave him his big break. He's left the business now. He's like a real estate agent or something like that.
Rob Bottin?
Yeah, he left the business about 20 years ago.
Get away.
Wow. Like a
never
real
does
artist.
interviews, never does anything. He just sort of got sick of being dicked around by producers who wanted more and more for less and less.
Jesus Christ.
And everything was moving to CG at that stage. So
Yeah. So it's when you see the writings on the wall and you could get out, then he probably made the right choice.
I remember reading an interview with Josh Brolin years back, and he was it was just like he'd sort of been hadn't been doing a huge amount of work, and then was coming back in doing like No Country for Old Men and whatnot. Mm-hmm. And he'd basically been he'd kept himself going quite happily by he'd learned how to invest and it was just like
Flip houses.
Investing in stocks and shares. And while he was talking to the interviewer, he was just like, "Give me a second."
Forex.
He was just like check, and he was just like, "Yeah." I just taught myself how to do it. Oh, we found a big pile of burned mass shite.
I was working with an American screenwriter.
What is that?
On a project that didn't happen. And she was just telling me that her portfolio is what has sustained her in the dry periods. And I thought, my God, that's such an American thing, having a portfolio. Like having your assets. And,
Jesus.
You know, you make so much money in flush periods and just buying stock and having your own portfolio. I thought, yeah.
I want a portfolio.
So do I.
No one ever taught us this in school.
No.
Get a portfolio.
Is genuinely one of the things that I think is really lacking in the education of.
They want us not to know that.
Yeah, but like I'm quite serious about this. If there's any wannabe filmmakers out there and stuff like that, try and figure out some business stuff for yourself to figure out how to keep yourself.
Some more great dog acting here, by the way.
The big thing that shocked me in my first sort of forays into the film business was how many people had properties that they rented out.
Jesus Christ.
Everyone had a flat that they were renting out. I was like, okay. Anyway.
Oh, here we go. Look at this.
Ah, beautiful. So they've brought this disgusting burnt mass back from the Norwegian camp. And it is a state of shite.
It's delicious. It looks like a really juicy spare rib.
It does look like spare rib, but oh my God, it is.
I used to work.
Amazing.
One of my first jobs was working in a hotel, like just sort of, I was like carting the slops off and stuff. And every now and again, after like a big wedding at the hotel, and all the like the bones and stuff are like mashed in a big pile. It kind of looks something like this.
Oh God.
What would that? Is that like a porter job or something?
Yeah. I was like 15 or 16 or something. I don't know. What's that guy's name? That actor, the guy who plays the captain of the base. He only died quite recently.
Yes.
He's the president in Clear and Present Danger, and he turns up. He has one of the best lines in this whole movie.
Tied to this fucking couch.
What's his character's name? Okay, Wilford Brimley, character David Clennon, Keith David, Richard Dysart, Charles Hallahan. Charles Hallahan?
No, Charles Hallahan is the one whose chest opens up.
Okay, Peter Maloney, Richard Masur, Donald Moffat.
Richard Masur is the one who gets shot in the head.
It's Donald Moffat.
Yeah. Do you know what, lads? I was just looking at Wikipedia, and the Wikipedia for this film is massive. It is like pages and pages and pages and pages and pages. Tells you how much embedded in pop culture this film is, and for a film that was regarded as a career ender for Carpenter. The critics savaged it, and it flopped so hard. Oh yeah, it was torn apart. Carpenter was really wounded by that. He felt it was his best work, and they just tore him to pieces. A mean, ugly, nasty film.
He did Starman after this. He did the opposite of this. He did Starman because I think it opened, maybe not the same weekend. Maybe it was the same weekend as E.T. It was the same summer as E.T. And
it opened the weekend after E.T., I think. It opened the same time as Blade Runner.
Yeah.
Wow, what a great 2 weeks, like in movies, like E.T., Blade Runner, and this.
I have a feeling Star Trek 2 was, that summer, they talk about summer of 82. And you know what's amazing? I'm rereading, I've said this in another podcast, rereading James
Summer of 86 is great as well.
William Goldman's the Adventures in the Screen Trade, and he's writing that in early 1982, and he's talking about the death of cinema, how no one's going to the box office like that previous season, and he's going, well, we don't know what's going to happen this summer, but the last summer was terrible and this winter was terrible, and I'm reading it consciously knowing you are heading into one of the biggest blockbuster summers in history, and which dictated how things went.
To be fair, Will, I mean, like this wasn't a massive hit, was it? On our initial,
no.
As you said, it was.
Oh, this? No.
No, it was a colossal bomb.
Blade Runner also not particularly.
But E.T. was. E.T. was huge hit.
E.T. was huge.
There were several huge hits that summer, which I have to pull up on.
Raiders of the Lost Ark?
That was 81.
Oh.
That was 81. Let's see.
Clark, will you put this mutt with the others where he belongs?
The 80s, though, is
Clark,
how much of the...
Clark is... Oh, sorry, Kev. I just was realizing I hadn't even... Clark is such a big part in this movie, and I suddenly realized you barely notice him up until this point. Like the dog handler. Yeah. He's just always quietly in the background. He just says "Come on, dog," and he's like...
Yeah, his whole character was that he likes the dogs, he doesn't like the people.
Yeah. Oh, this is a little bit after.
Sad.
This is one of the moments where I started watching when I was a kid, and I'd watch up to this point, and then the bit where the dog starts just its head splits open. So the dog goes into the cave.
And the special effects for this sequence were done by Stan Winston, because Rob Bottin was so under the cosh to get everything else done that they brought in Stan Winston to do the dog effects. But to finish my point, what I was about to say earlier was in the 80s, every single film was pursuing big ideas, new ideas. It was all about the concept. Concept is king. Get the audience in through concepts. So you had so many original IPs that now they just remake and remake and remake and remake. But for that stretch of time, it was just, you go back to even years that people don't think of as great, like Summer of 86 and Summer of 87. It's so many great original movies that are classics now. And none of them based on anything. Yep.
Dog head splits open.
Oh my god, it's amazing. Do you want to hear some of the films that came out that year in 82?
I think, Will, the answer has to be yes.
Yeah. So, of course, the number one film that year was E.T. What was the number two film of 1982? I'll give you a hint. It starred Dustin Hoffman. Tootsie, correct, Jamie. Then number 3 was Officer and a Gentleman. Number 4 was Rocky 3. Jesus, this creature is amazing. Oh my god. Number 5 was Porky's. Number 6 was Star Trek 2 Wrath of Khan. 7 was 48 Hours. 8 was Poltergeist. And 9 was The Best Little Whorehouse in Texas. And 10 was Annie.
It's so eclectic. It's such an eclectically weird mix. Oh, man.
I take it Annie. Back. That does sound like a shit summer.
But that wasn't the summer. That was the box office.
Oh, okay.
But you also had films like The Dark Crystal, Conan the Barbarian, Tron, Blade Runner, of course.
A lot of flops there.
Mad Max 2. Indiana Jones was still making a lot of money that year. The Thing was number 42. It was way down the list.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
And it's a perfect film.
It's pretty much it's a fantastic film.
You take that dodgy stop motion bit out of this. I can't think of another bit in this film that is just
I'm not a big fan of nihilism. I tend to find it a bit wearisome. But this...
It sounds exhausting, Kev.
This being such a... Well, did I misuse a word there?
No, it's just a joke from The Big Lebowski.
All right. I forgot what I was going to say.
You were saying you're not a big fan of nihilism.
Yeah, but this film is quite cynical and quite dark, and it's very bleak. And it's one of Carpenter's apocalyptic trilogy. But I love it. I think it's a perfect ending. I wouldn't want this to have any sort of affirming ending.
It's satisfying. It's satisfying within itself. It's a satisfying experience watching this film because there's so much tension, but also the craftsmanship and the performances and the characters are all. It's constant. It's endlessly rewatchable.
It's so tight.
Anytime it's on, I have to watch it. Mm-hmm. So there's a guy on the floor and his arm is operating the dog.
This weird.
Stan was saying when it comes to creating great puppets, the best appendage you can use is an arm. So they just built around a guy whose arm was operating the dog.
Wow. Oh, and look at this next shot. Oh my God, the original dog. Oh my God, the poor
And
thing.
that's a reverse shot, right? I mean, that has to all the tentacles slinging onto it. They must have just shot that and then reversed it.
Yeah,
It looks so
have to
good.
be. It looks amazing. Jesus, and the other dogs. So all the dogs are getting attacked. Oh my God.
And 2 of them already got away. So now
And they end up with an axe in their neck later on.
Yeah. Oh God, this is so gorgeously done. And
Isn't
the 2 hands.
Isn't it a beautiful grotesqueness? There's a
Here's Keith David. He's gonna flamethrow these motherfuckers.
You see, even if you showed this to a contemporary audience, right? I'm talking about teenagers, right? I don't think the teenagers would be chuckling at this the way they were chuckling at the likes of Exorcist when it was re-released. Oh my God!
I think they'd find something to laugh at, but no, this. It's a strange thing.
Geez.
It's a strange thing how CG effects date so badly.
Oh my God.
But special effects like this, you can tell that it's a puppet. You can tell that it's all rubber and stuff. But the fact that it's there and it's present,
Yeah.
and the fact that you could reach out and touch that, and you could feel the tactile slime, it changes your perception of what you're witnessing.
I feel it in my stomach. I feel a nausea when watching it, and that's the right reaction. You know, not like nausea as in, oh, this is crap, but like it's so grotesque and horrifying. Yeah.
I gotta just another Will Brimley autopsy scene, like between him and Button and Stan Winston there, but these autopsy scenes, he sells them so well. Like he just has this like world weary. Well,
Didn't he used to be a hunter or something, and they said that.
Yeah, he just is like, I'm gonna. Yeah, well, his face is he's like, well, this is a job. You know, this is a dirty job, but someone's gonna do it. And he's cutting into this like bizarre appendage, and you don't know. You're like, anything that he's cutting in here could have a mouth in it and a teeth and bite his hand off.
So Roger Ebert and Siskel and Ebert both just said that this was in such bad taste; it was disgusting, and the filmmakers ought to be ashamed of themselves.
Did they?
Yeah, they used to be quite puritanical at times, and they'd come up with these really bizarre takes on films. And
this is really affecting me. I don't know why. It is
really,
yeah, it's really affecting me. The mucus and the gelatinous kind of textures, I'm really finding it nausea-inducing.
I'm tumescent.
An organism that imitates other life forms.
Do you know what the word tumescent means, Jamie?
I was taking. I'm still staring at Wilford Brimley's green braces. They are great. I want them. I really want them.
I love how toyetic characters back in the 80s used to be. The fact that everyone is designed so they could all be action figures.
Toyetic, great.
Toyetic,
very good. I bet you there are action figures for all of these right now. You could buy all of these as action figures.
I'm sure.
Look at Jesus.
Yeah, Jamie, do you know what the word tumescent means?
Tumescent.
Look it up.
I don't. As he quietly gets his dictionary out. I feel it once.
Did you know something strange about the dog? And strange? No. So they had a debate on set amongst themselves where it was if you are the thing and it's a perfect imitation of you, are you aware that you're the thing or are you unaware?
I was just about to ask this. Because the scenes where the dog is looking out at the start and he's looking out at the helicopters coming in, this looks like The Simpsons, close up with the dog with the shifty eyes. This is an evil dog. Like this dog is up to fucking bad shit. But is this just the fact that the dog is acting on some kind of unconscious impulse? Like there's a fungus in its brain and it's causing it to do things? Or is the dog like once you get affected by the thing, you're like the Borg, like you're part of the collective?
Well, you're not the dog anymore. You're the thing imitating a dog. So the
But
thing is
later
there.
on, the Charles Hallahan character is offered the role of taking over as base camp operator, as leader.
Mm.
And he goes, "No, guys, I just don't think I'm up to it." And he's the thing at that point. And if he took over, he would have had a much easier way of assimilating amongst the rest of the team. But he backs away from that leadership position. So it's an interesting psychology there.
That implies
he
that
aware?
he doesn't know he's the thing. Yeah.
He doesn't know he's a thing, or the thing is scared. It wants to hide. It doesn't want to be in a position of focus and attention.
Yeah. They're just in the news again. Once again today, they've found evidence of life deep under the ice in Antarctica that shouldn't be there.
Oh.
It seems like every like couple of years or so, they find something deep in the ice. They're like, well, this shouldn't be here.
Like a little parasite type thing, like a tiny little organism.
I did not click beyond the Twitter headline, and I
Right.
the joke was someone going, "Oh, John Carpenter's like cracking his knuckles and dusting off his like his keyboards." Yeah, I don't know. I had an idea for a story ages back about this thing in this village in Russia, Siberia, where all these people are falling sick because the permafrost is melting, releasing these toxins and viruses that basically hadn't been exposed to the surface in 10,000 years. And I thought this was kind of interesting. And then I found that this other TV series had kind of done exactly that.
Oh no! Oh, I
love when that happens.
Oh, it's beautiful. It's so nice.
Yeah.
It's so satisfying. It's like, I've got this class idea, and a day later, it's realized on television before you.
This is where we get the Predator crossover, as they find the ship, and then the Predator.
Did you ever read the sequel story that was nominated for a Hugo?
No.
The Peter Watt story, The Things. It's told from the perspective of the Thing. It's so brilliant.
I haven't. I read a synopsis for a proposed sequel to this that was not great, but this Peter Watts one sounds interesting. Tell me more, Kevin.
Yeah, go on.
It starts like, "I am being Blair. I escape out the back as the world comes in through the front. I am being Copper. I am rising from the dead. I am being Charles. I am guarding the main entrance. The names don't matter. They are placeholders, nothing more. All biomass is interchangeable. What matters is that these are all that is left of me. The world has burned everything else. I see myself through the window, lopping through the storm, etc., etc." It's a really fantastic short story.
Oh, that sounds like a lot of fun. I think I have to track that down.
Yeah,
Wow.
Peter Watts. It's called The Things.
Did you see the Thing remake or sequel reboot or whatever it was?
I did, and I loved the script that I'd read ahead of production, and they changed so much of it. I remember seeing the first trailer, and I thought, "Oh no!"
I saw that film in the cinema. I cannot remember anything about it. Nothing.
This was Eric. I can't pronounce his second name. Heiser. Yeah, Oscar nominated for Arrival.
Yeah, his draft that I read was so contained and evocative, and then the trailer just had scenes that took place in New York that were not in the script. It was so much more active and aggressively like action orientated, and yeah, it was not at all the script that I read. It pained me because I thought this was at a time when I thought good ideas win out, and if you got the script right, that's one of the hardest things to do well. And he nailed it with that draft, and then they brought in the guy that did, and he did a pass at it and what have you, and I thought it was dreadful.
Well, let's not throw him under the bus. He was presumably under whatever pressures he was under for.
If you've got it and it's good, and people don't recognize it as good, or they don't care that it's good, then you're really in the lap of the gods. It's never going to come down to being a true meritocracy. People will take something good and make something awful out of it. by making bad choices. And that bummed me out because I thought, oh, you've nailed it on the page. And nobody bought into it. Nobody believed it. They thought, we can improve this. Let's make it shit.
Politics was involved and everyone wants their 2 cents, yeah.
I'm sure. But it's so demoralizing when you are trying to believe that everything that you do, if you can get it right on the page, that people will just make it better from then on. And it doesn't always happen like that at all.
This is now we've got 80s computer graphics of the cells assimilating.
Still as effective than anything you would see in a contemporary film.
It's the primitiveness of it that sells it. You believe it because it is so primitive. Like you believe. I mean, all the assimilation, cell, dog, complete stuff is a little unnecessary, but it's the way it's just there's something very like you're just seeing a
it's functional.
Your computer reproduction of something you're looking under a slideshow, a slide. What do you call those things? Slide things.
Projector.
I shouldn't have had that rest of that bottle of wine, but, but you know what I mean. There's
probability that one or more are infected went way too fast.
One or more team members are infected by the alien organism, 75%. And Wilford Brimley
projection. If intruder organism reaches civilized areas, entire world population infected 27,000 hours from first contact. There's also a short film called 27,000 Hours, which is a riff on The Thing, where 2 things have a human hostage and they're interrogating him. Something like that. I thought that was cool.
How
as well.
long is 27,000 hours?
I don't know. Several months.
I have to
Google. I'm looking at Kurt Russell looking at these torn long johns that are tossed into the kitchen, and
he should sniff them.
Copious shots of Jim Beam and Coors. And thinking like just what you were saying earlier about this being an ensemble piece, because it works so strongly because it is an ensemble. All these guys have their own little time to shine.
But the framing there of that shot, the way that Carpenter has Kurt sitting down and over his shoulder there's an open door, and it's just creating that sense of unease where he's got his back to an open door, and you want him to either close that door or to be facing in the direction of it.
Well, they're not entirely certain how serious this shit is yet. Isn't that right? That was my memory of like I was going on like this. I mean,
they've seen a fucking monster just devour a bunch of dogs. I think they're
no, but just like, the thing is dead. We don't have to worry about it. Like I was like going, oh my god, like that thing you just want to like just put it on the snow like here we have another quick shot of the
didn't you let you stick your tongue in
monster. That's going to win someone the Nobel Prize.
Wilford Brimley is the only one who actually has copped on to the fact that this is a much bigger problem.
He clocks on early, but when does he turn it? And then we got like he puts the cover back over the thing, and then the thing a slight bit of movement.
We don't know. I love when he builds this little mini spaceship.
Yeah, it's brilliant. You really want to see that thing going, don't you?
Yeah.
Oh
god!
Table.
Oh my!
I love it.
Again, we're talking about. This is a film. It does have jump scares. I'm just trying to think.
How beautiful that is. Dean Cundy's lighting. Blue light.
Yeah. Everything goes the way
is such a great scene. This scene right here. This is where the tension is just ramped up to 11. There's something wrong with Blair. I took his notebooks from the lab. All work and no play makes Jack a dull boy.
Give me the timeline. When was Halloween made?
1978.
And this was the first of Carpenter's movies with Kurt Russell, right?
No, Escape from
no.
New York.
Escape. Oh, that was before this, right? Okay.
And also the Elvis.
TV movie.
Which is
because he didn't. Was it this one or was it Big Trouble? Where he wanted to bring Kurt in, and Kurt was like, "Are you sure, man? We have no luck together. I feel like I'm dragging you down. You need an actual person that can bring in the box office. I'd love to work with you, but I think I might be an albatross around your neck." And he was like, "Fuck it, I don't care. I want to work with you."
Good for you, John. I only watched what's it called, Prince of Darkness for the first time, like in the last year.
Right.
See, a lot of people that have seen that at an impressionable age, it really works for them.
Oh my god!
Oh, look!
Oh my god! Oh my god!
So
What's his name?
We're watching the red-headed guy, bald guy with the beard, getting like choked by tentacles.
Oh Jesus! It's so disturbing.
It's Bennings.
And this is like the iconic image from the posters and stuff.
Yeah. It's Bennings doing his fucking
when he's being burned and his hands are all fucked up.
Yeah. And he does that Donald Sutherland in Body Snatchers scream. But where I was going through with Prince of Darkness was that it didn't have, because you were saying about this being an ensemble piece, and I remember
that has too many characters.
That is too many characters, but none of them, very few of them get, the ones that are interesting don't get enough screen time. Like you've got your
Donald Pleasance.
Donald Pleasance is great. Oh, look at this guy with his weird fucked up hands.
I think there's like 17 characters in Prince of Darkness. It's too many.
There's no, and none of them are that have the same kind of charisma that the Kurt Russell.
The lead actor is not a movie star.
He's not. I mean, if it had been Pleasance, that's okay. Let's set this motherfucker on fire. But yeah, Prince of Darkness. I was like, man, this is. I was reading up about like how he made that movie, and he kind of made it much more independently. And just did it his own way. But it's one of those movies that really needs that strong, charismatic central character to tie it together. On a very quick side note, did you ever read about that thing where about the making of Sorcerer? And
no, but it's an incredible film.
That's a cracking movie, and Friedkin was offered. He was going to have Steve McQueen was going to be the star of that.
Okay.
And McQueen was like, I only want to do it if I can have like Ali McGraw on set with me, because like I'm worried, like I stole her from this producer, and I'm worried if I'm away in South America filming for too long, she's going to like run off with someone else. And Friedkin, and they just like Friedkin was like at the height of his powers, like fuck it, I don't need a Steve McQueen. And I had Roy Scheider. Roy Scheider was great in that movie. But Friedkin said afterwards, is like, I thought that the majesty of all the South American jungle would be enough to compensate, but it's like you cannot overestimate how powerful a close-up of film star's face is, and that film star charisma. And
so he didn't think that Roy Scheider had that?
I think he had that, but he didn't maybe would have brought in the kind. We're talking in hindsight, like the box office would have brought in at the time. That would have been maybe who knows now? Maybe it would have been a massive success if it had been Steve McQueen instead of Roy Scheider.
Well, it came out the same weekend as Star Wars, didn't it? That was.
Well, that probably didn't help.
No, I think that's the big thing. It came out the same weekend as Star Wars, and it was just dead. Like there was just even though there was a chance that maybe people would have gone to see it because they couldn't get in to see Star Wars, which happened in the case of...
that feels like a big gear change between the old 70s style films and the new era.
Sure.
Between Sorcerer and Star Wars.
That's when it all died. That's when it did all change.
Lads, looking, as you're talking and I'm looking at the film, every one of these images, you could pause the film and pull a still and frame it, and it's beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
It might not be the most interesting shot, but every shot is beautiful.
Yeah. I've been very quiet because I actually have been consumed. We've said this and all these commentaries given is that when you turn the volume down, the film...
It's just visual storytelling.
Yeah, and the visual storytelling for this film, which should be really talky, it works. Like, I'm transfixed by this. I really am.
Yeah, it exposes whether a film is doing its job in terms of telling the story visually or not.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-oh. I think your helicopter's fucked.
Have you ever ridden in a helicopter?
I never have. Have you?
No.
No.
Interesting
never.
Story.
I thought you said, have you ever written in a helicopter? I've floated a helicopter, all right.
I've written...
I'm sure I've written a helicopter scene.
At least 2 scripts in a helicopter. They didn't know I was in there, but, you know.
But you know what I learned last night was that Honey, I Shrunk the Kids became a big hit because it came out the same time as Batman, the first Batman film. And the reason it was a big hit was because people were queuing up to go see Batman and they couldn't get in to see Batman. So they went to see what they said, well, what else is on? Well, Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. All right, I'll go see that. So it got a big boost of overflow of Batman.
I thought it might have been
viewers.
people buying tickets for Honey, I Shrunk the Kids and sneaking into Batman.
This is the reason I went to see The Last Action Hero instead of Cliffhanger.
Oh,
When
The Last Action.
When I was a young boy.
Oh, right. Okay.
To get into Cliffhanger because
Couldn't
it was
get into
15 or something?
Cliffhanger because it was sold out. And
What? Oh, right. Okay.
it was like, there's tickets left for The Last Action Hero. I was like, I'll go see this.
It's come back into the conversation. Last Action Hero, as sort of a film that carries a lot of nostalgia for a lot of people. I still think
It has
it
its
doesn't all
moments.
stick together, but it's a beautiful looking film.
It's a great idea, and the original script was strong. It was a long time since, but I remember it being quite strong. And then it went through development.
Yeah, and that was also William Goldman.
Yeah,
Was it?
Yeah, he did a major rewrite on that at the very last second.
and
Wow.
Shane Black did work on that too, if I remember.
I think it was his original script.
Yeah, his script. And was it his script, or did he?
I think it was his script.
Yeah, it's.
I think, but then again, I'm only
We're
I haven't
remembering
done any
things.
research on that.
Yeah, research is for losers.
So Carpenter said this was a very difficult film to shoot because you're trying to think of the coverage. You've got hallways and corridors, and you're trying to spatially place characters so that the audience can track what's going on. And you're filming all this stuff out of sequence.
Keith David should have been dead there. Like Blair shot through the door. He should have shot him. That door is not thick enough to withstand a bullet. Sorry, I'm only seeing
How
this
can
now. The
you
Blair, right?
track where to place people?
It's it's like one of these. You got multiple characters in an enclosed environment. It is really difficult. I was writing a
Eye
thing,
lines and things.
but just even getting like tracking as just from a script point of view, tracking 12 characters all with their own kind of like different points of view in an enclosed
It's a great
environment.
script. Have you ever read it?
A long time ago.
It's
But-
a great script.
Getting them all doing like I was. Oh God, I'm going to be talking about stuff that I shouldn't really be talking about, or is in development and anything out. But
Name
No.
and shame.
name and shame. But writing things in very enclosed environments, like, and you have like say
Ugh.
6 to 12 characters that they cannot get out, but yet you've got, an hour or two of movie. You've got to get them through all these plot points, and you're limited in terms of like the environment. They can't go out. They can't make phone calls. They can't do this, do that. It is the more characters you have, it's so tricky to juggle all this stuff. So,
It is.
and so it's another reason I love this movie so much is that it does this. I don't know how
It
much
looks
blood, sweat,
effortless.
yeah, and I don't know how much blood, sweat, and tears they went through in adapting this for Bill Lancaster went through, and John Carpenter presumably working on it. But
This is the
great.
thing, right? The film bombed. It absolutely bombed, and it was hated by critics. Now, Bill Lancaster didn't recover from this. He didn't get another film produced. John Carpenter did. But it goes to show how a poorly received film can just scupper an entire career.
Mm-hmm.
But did it? I mean, was he still
And he did a
working,
great
or
job.
just he didn't get produced?
Well, he didn't get produced, and you know,
Because most of us are working and not getting produced. We're working, but we're not getting produced. Like, no, these Bill movies aren't getting made.
yeah, but he probably just wasn't working with producers that trusted him after that.
Oh man, really? That feels.
He did an adaptation of Firestarter, the Stephen King thing.
Yeah, which John Carpenter was going to do, but because The Thing was such a box office bomb, neither of them got to do it.
Yeah, but there was,
So
and his draft was scrapped.
Yeah, and Carpenter was kicked off the project because The Thing was a bomb. So it cost him Firestarter.
Oh, and he died at age 49. Oh my goodness.
Bill Lancaster
A lot of
did.
the guys, a lot of the guys have
97.
And his daughter just died just quite recently.
Well, this is taking a rather somber turn.
Yeah. Firestarter was the last thing he worked on, and he
killed his career. So that's what happens.
Jesus Christ!
And he did an excellent job.
Man, I love this fucking movie.
It is amazing.
So I suppose we should we bring people up who are just half listening to this and
please do. I've been watching it.
People up.
So
Carpenter said this is the scene that was the hardest for him to shoot because you have 12, 13 characters now all going to come into a room and he's got to block it and film them.
And we have to work out which of these guys. The blood has just been damaged. Someone opened it.
I don't think we ever do find out who sabotaged the blood.
The Thing did.
Well, yes, but it's hard to like. It's so beautiful.
So what's happened? So Wilford Brimley has been locked up in the shed because he's a danger to himself and he's a danger to everyone else. And
he's warned Kurt Russell to watch Clark.
Yeah, who's Clark?
Watch him good.
Clark's the dog guy, right?
Yeah, with the cap, with the trucker.
I am only just seeing the nose ring again.
It's amazing.
How did I not miss that?
Windows is gonna make a break for it.
Warriors is fucked. Like he's really Donald Moffat.
So the themes behind the film, they were saying it was like the Cold War. It was playing off of that paranoia of that period. But other people have had a reading on it where it was the burgeoning HIV crisis that was happening, where people didn't know who had HIV, and it was an invisible killer because at that stage HIV was a death sentence, and it was wiping out. They reckon that there was an entire generation of artists who just disappeared, whose work we never got to see, from costume designers and musicians and producers and artists and choreographers, all were just wiped out.
But you know what, Kevin? I just think that's what happens generally when you create an amazing film, is that people have multiple readings on it, but I don't think the creators ever intended for it.
They were not trying to do an allegory of HIV.
No. But when you do something strong, people derive their own. That's such sugar glass. I can actually see what this.
But you've got like a group of men, and they've got something in them, and they don't know who has it. So it's like it's rife for like you doing your thesis in college on.
Oh, certainly, yeah, absolutely. And do you know what's we've got a wide shot with about 6 characters here, and they're all lit really well, like individually. Like, how hard would that have been to light them all? Like everyone in the frame, it's class
with low ceilings.
Yeah, with low ceilings.
Yeah,
his eyebrows are incredible.
You could. Oh, that's the kind of like the thing itself.
So Norris, he's just saying to Norris, "I think you should be it." Norris is turning him down.
And we know at this stage that Norris is the Thing. He's one of the Thing. There might be other things, but he's definitely the Thing. And so he's given the opportunity there to take over and become the leader of the camp. And he rejects
once again, they reject the idea of Keith David being in charge. And this proves to be a terrible mistake.
Yeah, but Keith David is a hothead.
He
this
is,
film.
but maybe in that case, what you need is a hothead.
He'd be like, motherfucker, you're gonna sit down and you're gonna stay tied to this fucking chair
All winter.
spring.
So he worked with Keith David twice, or maybe more, because I'm thinking of
Yeah,
They
They
Live as
Live.
well.
They Live, yeah.
Put on the glasses.
Those glasses are so fucking
Put
ridiculous.
on the motherfucking glasses. No, in They Live. The big
No,
punch-up that
sorry, the
happens.
thing that we're watching now with these plastic goggles,
goggles.
they're wearing, and I'm like, those things are fucking ridiculous looking. I have memories of these from the 80s, just like wearing these for...
Strum in the grass.
Yeah. Strim in the grass, and like, oh, you don't want a strimmer in your eye, take your eye out.
I
wear
had
these
to
stupid
wear
things.
those when I was working with my uncle, who was a sheet metal worker, and it was the height of summer. It was boiling, and when I was wearing them to apply acid to the weld marks to get rid of the black burns, to sort of bring it up shiny silver, the goggles kept fogging up, steaming up on me, so I took them off, and I was applying the acid, and a big globule of it flicked back and went into my eye.
Oh,
And
Uh-oh.
I did the thing that you're not supposed to do, which is that I clamped my eye down and just like was screaming in pain. And it was my other uncle who was there that basically saved my eye, because
what's he do?
he pried it open and just kept flushing it with water, washing out the acid.
Oh my
But I
god!
scarred all the inside of my eyelid. So for about a good 6 months, I felt like I had something in my eye, but it was.
How old are you?
Oh, I was about 16, 17.
God.
Yeah.
You're talking about, Jamie, about protective eyewear when you're strimming the grass. Always wear protective eyewear, because a neighbour of mine was using a strimmer without protective eyewear, and a stone came up, he hit a stone, and now he's blind in one eye, and he was already blind in the other eye. So he's fully
You're
blind now.
joking me.
Dead serious, yeah. He had an accident a few years ago, which blinded him in one eye. Now he's fully blind. So there you go.
That is horrible. Poor
Mhm.
man.
Yeah.
So there we go again. He's framed him with the door open behind him. You expect somebody to come in through that door.
And if I was him, no way. I normally don't sit with my back to the door. I just feel it really uncomfortable. An open door, no less. Not a chance. Not in this house, anyway. Oh, like it's a.
But also, in Antarctica, in this base, which is like close quarters, and you have a bunch of assholes there, and at least one of them is is an alien monster. Like, no, you don't sit beside the door.
McCready's doing a podcast right there.
Oh,
now
this
somebody's
high
gonna-
angle shot is.
You just expect that little spider thing to come walking in.
I was just watching a movie the other night. It had a very similar vibe to the sort of framing of this thing called The Empty Man. Have you heard of this?
Split
No.
The
diopter.
last movie with the 20th Century Fox logo on it. Anyway, it had
Oh,
one or two shots where like the guy sitting in the foreground, and like to the right hand side there's like a blurred but very creepy rotting teddy bear, and the moment you see it, there's got to be a second where this teddy bear is going to move, and you're like, yeah, I don't know why, and it doesn't make any sense why it does move, but sure enough, it's going to move. It does move. Who knows why?
So that character who's the one that was telling McCready about we should prepare our own meals and stuff, they actually filmed his death sequence and then didn't use it.
oh,
So he was pinned. McCready finds him later on, and he's pinned with an axe through his chest to a wall. So he's actually murdered.
Jesus.
This
Christ.
guy here.
Yep, him.
What's his dick?
What's his dick?
Oh yeah, then he's like, who's that? Yeah.
Fuchs.
But in that previous scene where you were talking about the door being open, and you're expecting something to come into frame, but nothing ever did. And that's great because it builds that sense of dread. Unease. That's exactly it.
Doesn't it get echoed in a later scene when we get the famous head with spider legs? It's,
Maybe,
it's a very similar high angle.
You're right. Mm-hmm.
And he's
So
found
this
McCready.
is like casting doubt. McCready's clothes are torn, which means something could have ripped through his clothes. Because why would somebody set McCready up unless it's to get rid of him?
All right, we got to find him. It sort of feels like it's funny. That feels like it's setting itself up for. Oh Jesus, I'll be surprised now, like because I haven't seen the movie in a while. And it's like this is what happens, but it seems like Fuchs is going like, oh, and McCready's the guy. He's the thing. But if memory serves, it doesn't actually go that way, does it? It's just like we don't see this guy again, Fuchs, as you say, Kevin. His death
scene is off screen. Yeah, it's him and Knowles. We don't see their death scenes.
It's like
Knowles is the roller skate guy.
Watch whoever you're real close.
There is another
flares.
sort of dodgy special effects moment, and it's when Palmer is killed. When Palmer's head opens up and he bites down on Windows, and he's swinging Windows' body around, and Windows' body is very clearly a sort of a stuffed doll.
I kind of my internal logic for that was that the thing was already working at assimilating him and his.
Just
I love
his bones into
his
straw.
shot. Sorry, just 1 second. Where he's looking through this little this priest hall window through the door. Blair, and there's the
He's got a
noose in the foreground.
He's ready.
yeah.
It ain't Fuchs.
It ain't Fuchs.
I'm not going to harm nobody. Nothing's wrong with me.
He's a thing there, right? I mean, we're guessing.
Is he?
He's probably a.
Not yet. No.
Later on, I think he is.
Later on, yeah. He gets.
If he was a thing, he wouldn't be in here.
He gets.
Wait a minute, man.
We don't know. There's an absence of information, which is why the film works so well, because you don't know. You sort of want to fill in the blanks yourself. Who was taken when? Such a beautiful base, though. Look at it.
There was a video game made out of this called The Thing, and I think it recreated a lot of this. It was actually quite cool. That's all I can say about that. That's all I can say about that. I played it anyway.
When we were doing the Halloween commentary, we mistitled the original movie. We said it was The Thing from Outer Space instead of The Thing from Another World.
Oh, did we?
Yeah, it's one of the things where I'm like, when we don't edit these things, like,
Yeah.
I'd love to just retake that.
Oh wow! I don't think anyone
Listened.
notices it too much. Yeah, really pays much heed to what we're saying here. Wow, I didn't know there was a dance number in The Thing. Whoa, it's incredible. Yeah, Kurt Russell's got moves in him.
Oh, God. Taking me back to Mission Impossible Fallout commentary.
Oh God, yeah.
Tom Cruise dancing wearing Angela Bassett's mask.
Jesus Christ. So there's Fuchs.
No, that's Windows.
Oh, that's Windows. Sorry, yeah.
Fuchs is dead already.
Windows now is doubting McCready. That's what's going on.
Yeah, because the light is on, and he finds his torn up drawers, as they call them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Have you ever referred to your jocks as your drawers?
No. I don't, and I don't understand why they would have been called. So the lads have proton packs. So this predates 1984, and they have copyrights on proton packs.
Drawstrings. That's why they call them that.
Oh, is that it?
No, I'm hypothesizing here. I have no idea.
Yeah, I'm wondering.
It seems as good a reason as any.
I like the idea.
Drawstrings.
So when it imitated him down to his
dodgy back.
Dodgy, heart.
Yeah.
Because he has a heart attack.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Okay,
So it replicated even the heart disease or whatever clouded arteries he has.
Unless there's something like he's kind of like fighting the thing or something from the inside. But because we never know any of this information, it's up in the air. It's what makes this movie kind of work, is that it doesn't tell you enough about how the thing works.
Yeah, I just said all that.
Oh, did you?
That's what I thought, Jamie. I
Said all that when you were off screen.
No,
Jamie, that's what I used to think, that he was actually, kind of fighting the thing, or he was in agony for some reason because of the... Sure, he can't be fighting it. He is it. This is the thing.
Sure, he
Whatever
can't
he
be
was.
fighting it. Sure, he's the fucking thing.
Great
He's the
minds
ting.
think alike, Kev. He's the ting. He's the ting. He knows he's the ting.
The ting.
Sure, he's not the ting. He's the tang.
I come off the stage. I'm not the thing at all.
This guy, Knowles, has been away for a while, has he?
Yeah. Is he roller skates?
I don't think he's roller
he's
skating.
just coming with his snow boots. I love that door handle.
Oh my god. So good. So the door handle is just twirling back and forth.
It's a
back and
very
forth.
gentle twist. If it was somebody in a state of duress would be like, I could. But I love that McCready busts in the back and he's got the dynamite. Spoiler alert.
What's cool about this film is that we don't have like this Jason Voorhees like bashing through doors and stuff like that. The thing is so clandestine. It's kind of like, just it'll open the door a crack, just have a look, and then I'll go hide and scupper away. It's
What if they called it the whatchamacallit? One of you guys is the whatchamacallit.
the Yokomi Mob.
The thingamajig.
The thingamajig. It would be a total. That would have really increased their box office draw. Could I have one ticket to the
I'll do
thingamajig?
it. Pitch, writer of grabbers. I want to do the thingamajig.
Anyone messes with me and the whole camp goes.
He should have wiped his jaw after drinking all that milk.
Kurt Russell looks frosty.
Continue there. Watch the dynamite, how loose it is in his hand, and then it's now like nice and neat.
Oh, okay. You've seen this
Spoiled
film
it for you.
many times. Many times.
As I
Kevin.
say, this is one of those films like Die Hard or Jaws, where when it's on the telly, I'll just keep watching it.
Yeah, I understand that. Absolutely. I've discovered this film quite late. And it had I had an immediate response to it. I knew this was an instant classic.
I had to convince a cousin of mine to watch it because it was like The Thing. It's called The Thing. He was just imagining a really schlocky 50s like thing, like Them or something. I was like, no, it's as good as Alien. He was like, fuck off, as good as Alien. Like, I swear to you, it's great. You should watch it. And then he watched it and he loved it.
I would say I enjoy watching this more than watching Alien. I think it's more.
That's a hard one.
But what I mean by that is that this is far more entertaining than Alien, and it got a better pace. It clips along, whereas Alien, it's gorgeous.
There's a lot of long, slow, tense, dread-inducing scenes in Alien, whereas this is more. There's also the banter between the guys.
Yeah.
There's a lot more characters as well.
There's I think it was on the DVD, which was one of the first DVDs I ever got, where John Carpenter said, Alien is a great movie, but it's still a guy in a rubber suit. We didn't want to have that in The Thing. The Thing needed to be a shapeshifter.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We're going to have... Oh, there's your split dioptic. Is that what you call it, Kevin?
Diopter, yeah. The Brian De Palma technique.
Oh, here we go. Here we
go.
go.
Going.
This is a jump scare. Would you classify what's coming up with jump scare?
In jump scare. Kate mentioned it as a jump scare.
Smash.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my.
So this was actually a guy who was... he had his arms lopped off and they put a mask on him.
Oh, and the thing is coming out of his chest. Oh, my God.
It's a boy.
Oh, my God.
Oh, Jesus.
He looks just like his father.
Jesus Christ.
Come on, McCready. Oh, and then this thing is... His head is stretching off just till it just can't get any further. And then it just rips.
Oh, shit. The green sinewy kind of... Oh, It's
Chewing
amazing. It's off grotesque and amazing. Oh, wow.
It's so beautiful.
You just want to kiss it, don't you?
Yeah.
I want to eat it.
The top, just like laughing.
Oh, Jesus. Incredible design. Incredible. And also incredible, like, just mechanical work. Like, yes, and I was
And
pulling
nobody
itself
sees
across
this head. Yeah, no one sees it. I love when the spider legs come out.
Yeah.
Lads.
Tickle, tickle.
Jesus Christ. I remember I showed this film. I think I got this film on DVD in college.
Look at that.
And people were coming into the house. And I was just saying, you have to watch this film. It was the middle of the day. And I think everyone stayed and watched it. And they were all just, holy shit, this is fucking amazing. And it was.
I love it. That can be so hit and miss when you show people a film you love, because if they don't get on the same wavelength as you, it's so disheartening.
But on this occasion, they totally did, and it was just like, it's great, isn't it? Yeah, man, let's watch it again. I think we watched it twice. Yeah. There's that shot you were talking about, Jamie.
You gotta be fucking kidding.
Yeah. Oh, I love it.
That to me is up there with like you're gonna need a bigger boat.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's God, it's so good.
It's so droll and yeah. The film just rips along.
Yeah.
All right, now we have the famous blood test scene.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so this was the moment that I mentioned in Whodunits, where Whodunit, it's always building to that great reveal of who the thing is or who the killer is, and this is like a great one when they're doing the blood serum test.
I said about in Whodunits, like, the whodunits that I love are whodunits that are actually about someone else or something else, not about the, people in a mansion and someone's dead.
It's not all just like a comedy of manners or whatever.
Yeah, like in this case, it's a horror film, a whodunit horror film, and oh wow,
got a shot in the head.
Yeah.
Sorry, Charles.
I feel like I'm a second ahead of you guys.
You are. I feel I'm a second ahead of you guys, or
you might be a little behind us, Jimmy, but we're all on the same page. We're close to the same page.
Behind you? I think I'm ahead of you. No, or maybe you're ahead of me. I don't know.
You're in a different time zone as well, Jamie. So
that's true. Yeah, it's very.
You're an hour ahead of us.
Bambi Spanish.
Sitting there watching the credits.
Anyway, wow, and E.T. never went back home. Yeah. I'm watching credits for movies in different dimensions.
And the face is beautiful as well. In that sort of like way where interesting faces.
Are they all staring at the camera? They're just staring very slightly, almost into the camera there. Where Kurt Russell's going like he's right, like his hypothesis about how the thing works. Like if I burn its blood, it's going to react.
I like that you say hypothesis and not theory. It's like one of those bugbears of mine.
Oh, that's a heavy cut.
The scene, the scalpel into the thumb is the thing where everybody always winces in this movie, where a fucking dog's head splits open, a guy's head rips off and spreads spider legs. And it's the bit where a scalpel runs across someone's thumb that everybody winces at.
Because everybody's cut their thumb like that.
Yes, exactly.
But, and it also... There's also that. Here they come again. Why are they cutting it like that? They're like slicing it like an apple, and you don't have to cut it that much. You don't need that much. And then squeeze it.
Remember, I told you that I can't look at people drawing blood and stuff like that because I get lightheaded.
Does this do that to you?
Yes.
Kevin's gone. I can see Kevin getting a bit paler.
That bit strikes me as like the special effects guy. Look, I got a fake hand here, and I'm going to cut this fucking thing so it looks like it's cutting blood. And I was like, but nobody's going to cut their thumb like that. I mean, they're not going to start from the nail and dig in and work down.
It's like he's peeling an
He's
apple.
like, I don't care. Listen,
I'm just going to pick the most
I was up 3
tender
nights in a
spot.
row building this fucking hand, and I'm going to cut this hand the way I want it. So fuck
So
you guys.
they do a clever thing here
Get
where
cozy.
they introduce the fake hand before the blood pops up.
Okay.
You'll see it now as he's coming up.
Okay. They introduce a fake hand before the blood pops up.
Yeah, so you sort of become accustomed to it. So you don't look at it and think, "Oh, it's a fake hand holding the blood serum, whatever it is."
Okay. You flag it up.
Okay.
So he's heating up the little metal element, dipping into his own blood.
It's a crock of shit.
That's true.
Whittle. Okay,
So Cooper was the guy with the hat.
So that's his real hand.
Okay.
And now we're going to see the fake hand.
Right.
Now Clark.
Now Clark.
So Clark is the dog guy.
Yeah, and which makes him a murderer. That's the fake hand.
Oh, I see it. Yeah, I can see it. Once you see it, it's too stable.
And Clark was human, huh?
Oh.
Which makes you a murderer, don't it? Parmano.
What's Jamie on?
Here we go. This is a great jump scare.
Mm-hmm.
This is pure nonsense. It doesn't prove a thing.
You were the only one that could have got to that blood.
You were the only one who could have gotten to that blood. We'll do you last.
Oh my god. Amazing.
That's so cleverly done.
Yeah.
And
all
they
the
tip
blood
the floor to make the blood run.
Oh wow. Now they're tied down next to him. Oh my god, I forgot the scene.
The
and he's
flamethrower doesn't work.
Jesus, lads. And being tied down next to him. Oh my god.
So this would have been so fun.
Jesus Christ.
I got
Look
it.
at that.
Get me out of here. Jesus.
Don Moffat and Keith David really do deserve like some kind of special awards.
Why does it leap onto the ceiling like that? Watch, this is where he becomes a little bit of a dummy. But it's not just a dummy, it's like a teddy bear.
I'm watching.
See? See?
Oh yeah. It's not too bad.
But it's the strength of the thing is so much. And then by the time you see it in a wider, the thing is kind of started more assimilating it more. And that's why, like, that's my own headcanon for this. I'm not going to...
Yeah. That's my Halloween costume sorted. One head consuming another head.
This is what my 4-year-old daughter is going as this Halloween. She doesn't know it yet. She wants to go as Vampirina, but I'm sure she's going to see the logic of my argument.
Yeah.
No, you're going to be going as, like, basically after.
So watch
the
this.
guy's head.
Kurt Russell almost gets blown up here. Watch Kurt Russell, the blowback from the dynamite.
Oh yeah, he did. Yeah.
Oh, there was a cut there.
And John Carpenter was like, "We nearly killed our main star. The shockwave was so strong." He wasn't happy with that. He was pissed off.
Who, Carpenter or Kurt Russell?
Both of them. He was nearly killed.
You could see the impact on the building around him as well.
Nearly killed.
Jesus.
They really get.
Do you get a Nobel Prize for attempted chemistry?
They really get a good mileage out of those flamethrowers.
Yeah, they must. I wonder how much fuel is in it. Like, how long can you burn for? Could you like sit by?
That's in our wheel as well. Best flamethrower scene.
Is it?
It is.
It's going to be this. It's going to be this film again.
Jesus, the amount of times that Steven Spielberg and John
I
Carpenter
love
come up
this
on the
cut
podcast.
here where he gets that Knowles' blood is fine, and the next cut is like Knowles standing beside him holding the flamethrower. Be like, oh,
Yeah,
it's
it's
I'm
good
clear.
Yeah. That's a great cut.
And then they do it again with Keith David. He's got a great face, just the way that he can show that relief, but also wanting to save face.
He's so and they're just like, cut me the hell. Come on, get me out of here.
But you know
And
what?
Donald Moffat is so lonely here.
Yeah. You know what? This type of scene, this is so needed after what we've experienced. We need that levity. And
Absolutely.
we do need it. And that's why I think this film is so class.
Here we go. Another amazing line reading and a great quotable line. I know you gentlemen have been through a lot, but when you find the time, I'd rather not spend the rest of this winter tied to the fucking couch.
It's brilliant.
Yeah, great
I love
line
it.
reading. I think this movie did more for flamethrowers than any other movie in the 80s. I'm throwing this thesis out there. Give me another
nothing
movie.
coming to mind. Yeah, I was thinking about that.
Alien gets a lot of stuff about flamethrowers, but in Aliens, neither of them have
Alien as well. She goes through the whole ship with a flamethrower.
But she doesn't actually flamethrower stuff with it. I mean, this is a movie you actually use. The flamethrower is used as an offensive.
That's true.
And it's a weapon.
You know, the biggest flamethrower scene, the biggest flamethrower ever on screen, is in True Lies, where Arnold uses an actual refueling truck, and he shoots the nozzle, and it's an 80-foot flamethrower.
Ooh. Did that come up in our commentary? I bet it did.
Probably did.
Did you guys watch that as a...
You should listen to our podcast, Jamie.
I should. You guys have a podcast?
Yeah, this is actually for a podcast, yeah. Yeah, we did True Lies. Yeah.
Oh.
Are you a Patreon supporter?
No, I send you guys like Christmas cards. That's about as far as it gets.
I'll take. We take that. We do take that. I'll take sheep's wool as well if it's going.
I can do that too. Okay, here we go. Opening up the floorboards, and the fuck's he been doing then here?
It's a tiny bit goofy when you think that he built himself a little mini UFO.
That's what I'm saying. I want to see this fucking thing
out of helicopter parts.
I want to see it. If you made this movie now, and God forbid they make this movie now, but they would have to have a scene where this UFO thing tries to take off, and like Kurt Russell hits it with a flamethrower or something, whatever. Yeah. And it wings.
The problem is that films that were flops on initial release, whenever they try to reboot them, they don't translate into hits. For some reason, when it didn't work the first time, it just never works.
Can you give me an example?
Blade Runner
2049.
Okay.
Both
of them are great
prequel.
Movies. Like Blade Runner and the sequel are really good.
And I worry about Dune for that reason.
Jamie's seen Dune.
I've seen Dune, and it's
great movies. Look, we're watching The Thing.
I'm going to see
Dune.
Is
a fantastic film
on Thursday night. I can't wait to see it. But I have hope.
Thursday?
Yeah,
in January.
In January. No, I'm going. It's coming out again. They've re-released it because it was such a huge hit in the US.
Yeah, it's January right now. Yeah. I really enjoyed Christmas. It was great.
Yeah,
I really enjoyed Christmas. It was so strange with Henry Kissinger dying.
Oh, don't.
You almost made it to 100.
I just...
So where is
Blair?
Wilford Brimley? Wilford
Brimley. Oh, okay.
So he was making an alien ship underneath the cabin because he is now the ting.
The ting.
Thingamajig.
The tingamajig.
No,
he's in the other part of the camp.
He's fucking around like the thingamajig, the whatchamacallit. You're the whatchamacallit, Wilford Brimley.
You're the hoochamabob.
You're the hoochamabob. Yeah.
What's his face?
Yeah, Knowles should have been from Kerry.
What's the one that you said once, Will? It was something like What's his fuck or something like that? I can't remember.
Is this me? Did I say something?
Yeah. Yeah, because I'm used to hearing like what's his face. And it was like,
oh, what's his dick?
Maybe it was you, Jamie, saying what's his dick. Yeah,
what's his dick?
Oh, Jamie said, oh yeah, what's his dick?
Yeah, there was a a film critic I read a fair bit of. I think I've sent him stuff to you. Outlaw Vern, and he uses that what's a stick, and I've started saying what's a stick, and it can really annoy some people. My sister gets very annoyed when I refer to someone as what's a stick. She's like, "Oh, Jesus, why do you keep saying that?" I don't know. What's a stick? Well, in this case, it actually is a guy. So
what's a tits?
What's a stick? And it's a woman. In this case, it wasn't. What's a stick? Yeah.
I was once someone described someone, just like that. Someone said instead of what's his face or what's his dicks, someone said they called them it. Oh, what about it? And I'm like going, what do you mean?
That is way too vague.
Yeah,
way too vague.
I always felt it's kind of like offensive to that person.
Do you know how some people would complain about non-binary people being referred to as they, them, and how grammatically it's hard to sort of wrap your head around? But in Ireland, at least in my experience, you'd refer to people as they all the time.
Yeah.
Are they coming?
Yeah, we do.
Are they going to the shop? Do they want anything? Will I get something for them? And you're talking about one person.
It is a little too vague though for that. Like
I'd never refer to a person as it.
I can't imagine of any person of whatever.
What's her tits? I definitely refer to them as that.
What's a dick?
So
it's what's his dick.
For anyone who is still wondering what part of the movie you're watching, they're blowing up the camp.
Yeah.
Because they know the thing wants to go into the ice and freeze.
Do you remember when you get an actual audio commentary DVD and they would just go off on stupid tangents and you're like, oh, for fuck's sake, this is... Oh, talk about the film. I want to hear your opinions on making the film.
Yeah.
But with us, it doesn't matter because we had nothing to do with this film, so we can just...
We didn't make the film.
Yeah, we can't really say... This was a great day on set. It was.
We were all toddlers when this movie came out.
Yeah, Kevin, were you born?
You wasn't even born.
I was
for the
born.
10 years.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I was an infant.
Born. Yeah. I was delivering bread around the stage. I wasn't. I was a bread boy.
Straight out of a Ridley Scott Hovis commercial.
Yeah.
Cycling up the hills of Cork City
that.
for some reason.
Oh, those hills. What's that hill? Steep hill called, Kevin? Oh.
Cathedral Road? Oh, no.
The other one. The other side of the river.
Oh, God. Sunday's Well?
Is that the really steep hill?
No, you're thinking of Patrick's Hill.
Patrick's Hill, that's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
Oh, God. Couldn't even think about walking up that now.
My God, I've seen people cycle up that hill.
Oh, God.
It's almost vertigo
Maniacs.
for people that aren't...
What's wrong with these people? Give us
I
a
don't know.
break.
People just like torturing themselves.
Apparently, cycling teams in Donegal are some of the most successful cycling teams in the country because when they go for a cycle, they have to just go up and down the whole time because it's so hilly here that they're...
Seriously?
Mm-hmm. Apparently so.
Isn't also Donegal great for surfing?
Oh, yeah, and Donegal and the West Coast, generally. Clare, Sligo, Mayo, Donegal.
Right.
Yeah. Great for surfing.
A freak of geography. Just why I discovered why Kenyans are so good at marathon running. Because they're at a very high altitude. And it's, they're just used their blood oxygen intake is just different, so they're already training at a much higher level. And why a lot of people they send athletes, marathon runners
to
who want to be running
training.
higher altitudes.
Wow.
The more you know from a long-term runner like me.
Wasn't Beyonce used to train? Her endurance training was to sing while running on a treadmill.
No way.
In order to be able to get to a point where she could perform high intensity choreography and sing without her voice being all over the place as she can't get her breath.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, so it's
Donald Moffat.
Oh,
sorry,
here we
on
go.
screen.
Oh my.
Now think about this, right?
gosh.
How many hours were they in that position? Because that's a prosthetic that's applied to his face.
Oh my God.
So he had to have Wilford Brimley's hand up against his face for at least, I would say, an hour.
Jesus Christ.
And now,
Wilford Brimley cornered Donald Moffat and shoved his fingers in through his
Look
mouth.
at that. That is beautiful.
And wow. This film is, because this film shocks you with every new killing. It's not like whatever, chest buster. It's like, oh, another chest busted. No, it's like, what's he done to his face?
This is the end of Knowles.
It's not even. Yeah, that's the last we see in Knowles, right? I mean, he doesn't. He dies off screen.
He does, and I don't think his death was in the script. Like, forgive me if I'm misremembering, though, anyone out there who's screaming. But I don't believe his death was included in the script.
Well, that's why
there was a lot of there was more action.
You want to get that great shot of McCready, just like that frame there alone, going, oh, fuck. Lifting up the detonator.
He's one of those actors that I just love in things.
Mm-hmm.
God, he's great. I'd written a part.
He was a Disney.
For him,
he was a Disney kid, wasn't he?
Yeah,
he was.
Yeah.
And a baseball player for a while because his dad ran that baseball team.
Watch that documentary on Netflix.
Oh, you were the one that recommended that to me. It was fantastic.
The Battered Bastards of Baseball. It's on Netflix and it is brilliant. It's about Russell Crowe's dad taking over a baseball team, and it is brilliant.
We're about to go to that dodgy stop motion effect, aren't we?
Yeah.
That's about. Yeah, here we go.
Here we go. This is like Tremors.
This looks great. Tremors. Or that little scene, Irish horror movie, Grabbers, which I think you guys should see. It's a real cracker.
Never heard of it. Yeah, so stop motion.
Oh. No, it's this.
Yeah, I don't like it.
Was that?
That's not quite so. It's, here. It's sort of. When it's wide.
It's when it pops out.
Yeah.
That's still okay. This is a practical effect.
This is the fine.
This is the big 25-foot puppet that they built. There is one shot though.
But you
Let's see it here.
Okay,
fuck you too,
Kurt Russell. And give me your hero line. And yeah, fuck you too.
That was in that era where they had to have a kiss-off line. And I remember one of the hardest lines for me to write in Grabbers was having a good kiss-off line. I was just trying to think of something that felt in-world and wouldn't be stupid. Like, open wide, say ah. And it came out to Lisa just saying, oh, shut your hole.
Ah.
Yeah,
that's Irish. That's in world. Yeah,
it works.
And I thought, I've done it. I was so happy with that.
Yeah.
Because it was so hard to come up with a kiss-off line that felt like it wasn't too knowing, but felt like she'd say that. And it would be Irish, and it would be a kiss-off line.
Mm. Well, that works.
That works.
That stop-motion shot didn't bother me. It wasn't even that long a shot.
I didn't even notice it.
Yeah, it didn't bother me that much this time. That's strange. Yeah. I mean, it's a good strange in a good way.
I edited it out earlier.
Oh, is that what you did? That's nice of you.
Thanks. Here we go. Great endings. So his Carpenter Apocalypse trilogy is this. It's Prince of Darkness.
Okay.
And is it? Oh, what is the first one? Is it Halloween? You know, where it's the ending is bleak and it's unhappy.
It's not Halloween.
What?
Is it the fog?
The fog. Oh, I'm just trying to think. So not Escape from New York, I assume.
Oh no, it's the one of Sam Neill, in the Mouth of Madness.
Oh right, okay.
Yeah, his Apocalypse trilogy, The Thing, The Prince of Darkness, and In the Mouth of Madness. In the Mouth of Madness is great, by the way.
That's another one. I would consider
it to be the last. We're in a saloon at the moment, guys.
Oh.
Yes, sir.
But I would consider that to be one of the last great Carpenter films.
I will. I think I don't remember if I went on a rant on one of our WhatsApp groups about because I was trying to work out this thing between The Thing, Prince of Darkness, and In the Method of Madness. And The Thing, I think, is a great combination of, you know, it's a perfect fucking movie for me.
Mm-hmm.
And the Prince of Darkness is like it's a really good score. It doesn't have a very charismatic kind of central character. In the Method of Madness has Sam Neill is quite charismatic in it, but it's got that rocky, new age rocky score thing that Carpenter was really into.
Oh,
And
yeah.
It for me it really lets it down because it's
it's sort of like the Lost Themes sort of vibe.
Yeah, but even the Lost Themes I actually kind of like, but that really rock out. It's like, you know, the Stephen King is in a band, and like he just goes out like on his you know, fucks around. Like, good for him.
That's
like, fine,
the end.
That's fine, but that's, you know, it's not maybe what you want to see from the movie. Oh, you missed that. There's the end of the movie.
I didn't get to tell you. I was wanting to jump in and say, Will, look out for it. It's too late now. But it's that Dean Cundey had lit eyes to have light in them, and he didn't like Keith David's, and it was a conscious choice on Dean Cundey's part to indicate who was the Thing and who wasn't the Thing. So throughout the movie, the characters that don't have light in their eyes, like Palmer, don't have that sort of like little speck of white dot glinting, are inhuman.
Right.
And
is that
it's sort of used as another way to tip the hat towards saying that Charles is the Thing.
Okay.
Is that something came down from Carpenter on high, or that he was? I assume it must have been, or that he was just doing his own.
I'm sure that they had this conversation. Surely,
sure they must. Yeah,
but yeah, no, he mentioned that just a couple of years ago that the characters who are not human, they don't have that little glint of light in their eye. He didn't light their eyes, so everyone else does have it.
I like the font. I like the font that he uses for a lot of his films. The similar font. It's really cool.
Isn't it ballsy of him to put his name above the title? And it became sort of his thing where it's like, I want my name above the title. It's going to be John Carpenter's The Thing. John Carpenter's Escape from New York. John Carpenter's Halloween.
Who was the first director who started doing that?
Oh, golly gee. Oh my god, no, this is something I need to Google.
But for me, that just made it so much easier for me to sort of find his brand and go through the video shop and look for John Carpenter's XYZ.
There's so many of his films that I have yet to see, and I really want to, like Christine, as you were describing them in the Prince of Darkness or In the Method of Madness. What were you saying? Which one
was
Sam Neill one?
In the Method of Madness is
In the Method of Madness.
Pretty good.
Yeah, I've seen. Yeah, so Christine is another one I have to see.
Prince of Darkness is kind of feels
great music in Christine.
Prince of Darkness is like style-wise feels really close to this, like the pacing, but it's, I don't know, the
there's some great jump scares and great visual effects moments or special effects moments in The Mouth of Madness. But my top 3 Carpenter.
Go for it. Halloween, this, and
The Thing, and
The Fog?
Ooh. The Fog is goodish, but it has moments where it gets let down.
Elvis, then.
No, Big Trouble in Little China.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That's very good. I would go with, I love Big Trouble in Little China. Love it. The Thing is the top of the list, no question about it.
Yeah.
So I like for me the likes of
Halloween. Assault on Precinct
13 is somewhere in the top 5.
Escape from New York.
Escape from New York. I actually I will have to rewatch it again.
Escape from LA.
Oh yeah, it's definitely up there. But I haven't seen the likes of, let's say, I haven't seen The Ward, I haven't seen Ghosts of Mars, I havenn't seen Vampires, I haven't seen
Vampires is good.
Oh really?
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
Madness. I saw Memoirs of an Invisible Man, which remember that was kind of a cutesy one.
Yeah. Starman.
Starman's
They Live.
good. They Live is good. It's good fun.
Yeah.
So, Big Trouble in Little China, Halloween,
The
and
Ward.
this I love.
If it was
And
a
it's
top
just-
three, I got to go with They Live, Halloween, and this.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
I'm surprised they haven't remade They Live, because that is the one that feels still so topical, and
maybe that's why.
maybe people
Special
just don't
wigs.
know. Good idea.
2 people credited with special wigs on this, as the credits roll.
I mean, look at this. These are all guys' names.
Wow.
Maybe there was some ladies in. Well, Susan Turner did miniature supervisor models, so
it's a dude heavy cast
in LA. But when they were in Alaska and British Columbia, it was all guys. I really enjoyed that, guys.
Yeah, fantastic film. How many films have John Carpenter and Kurt Russell collaborated on?
3.
4.
More?
5.
5 is the answer. Elvis.
Escape from LA. Escape from New York.
Yeah.
The Thing.
Yeah.
The Thing. Big Trouble in China.
Yeah. Escape from
Elvis?
LA. That's it. Elvis.
Okay.
5.
Elvis is a TV movie, though.
Escape from LA is a lot better than its reputation might suggest.
I just remember the special effects were so ropey.
They are, but there's a vibe to it that is, I don't know. I know it was just the time and space
And
and
playing
watch
basketball and
it there's some it has a tone to it which is kind of cool, but it doesn't have that tactile griminess of Escape from New York, but there's something to it, I gotta say, that is, I don't know, a sense of humor. I don't know, surfing with Peter Fonda and like it was just, I don't know, it's better maybe than its reputation would suggest.
Amen. Well, it's a classic, just like this commentary. Thanks so much for listening, and Jamie, thank you for guesting again.
Are we doing a podcast again?
And again, where can people find you, Jamie?
I'm at Jamie ... at twitter.com.
That's spelled DOT.
What's the significance of that? An ellipses. Jamie with an ellipses.
Because I can't put ... on a handle. Yeah. You put ... and it's like you have made an incorrect error. So yeah, it was DOT. Listen, this is 15 years later. This has got me in like a lot of headaches for like posting shit. I'm going to the post office the other day.
So there you go.
Yeah.
Get on to Twitter,
Yeah.
follow Jamie, and set your notifications to all. It'll be worth it. All right, Will.
All right, Kevin. Good night, everyone. Good night, Jamie.
Good night,
guys.
Jamie.
Good night, Kevin.
Good night, Will.
Sleep tight.
Good night, Moon.
Good night, Tingamajig.
It's a ting. It's a ting. It's a ting.
It's a ting. Are you the ting?
And here is a clip from the lads' latest Mini Bits bonus show. The full episode, plus 80 more, are available on their Patreon.
See ya, Mossy. I gotta go in and record another one of these fucking mini bits.
Oh, yes, this is all it is.
I know. What are you doing?
Right now, on the Academy screener site, and I hit play because there's only a few films on it for the first month or two. There's only like about less than 10 films on it. And Guy Ritchie's The Covenant is on here. So I hit play on that, and I'm hearing we're out in Afghanistan, and I'm hearing all the dirt, and I hear vehicles, and I hear the sound effects of characters walking. But when characters open their mouths, I don't hear any dialogue.
Oh,
There's no dialogue.
they've uploaded the wrong audio track. It's like that Tom Cruise trailer where it was just the sound effects.
Have you met an SP?
Yeah, and this film's been up on the screen site for a few weeks now, and they still have the wrong one here. Well, I tell you what films are actually up there for all Academy members to see, and they see what they've put up there.
But first of all, let's just throw to our theme. And I have to say, the feedback from my thank you ballad it was quite fierce.
The power of Christ compels you!
So I asked Mossy, who is a friend of my dad's at the quiz, sing us a theme tune.
Oh.
So over to Mossy.
Hit the cards. I'm fine, I'll get it done in one take. It's the Many Bits. Oh, podcast, what will they say? With Will and Kev from Cork.
The best fucking podcast.
That'll do.
That'll do.
My God.
Thank you, Mossy.
He would make an angel weep. That voice would make an angel weep.
Telling you.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Boolabus.
It only cost us 2 months patron money, so,
Is that all? Money well spent in my eyes.
Yeah. I mean, you can't get much for €20. Will, you were telling me before the intro that you were looking at stuff on the Academy Screeners website.
The Academy Awards. So for official members, yes. So they don't send out DVDs anymore. So how you do all your streaming stuff is all via the Academy website. And the streaming season has begun, which is exciting. So it means for the rest of the year...
Did it ever end?
It does end. It does. After the Academy Awards, there's about 2 weeks, and they take all the films down, and then they begin again at the end of August, and they all start coming up. So it's a whole new collection of hopefuls.
So how many films are on there?
Right now, about 10. Actually, 10 exactly. I can tell you the 10.
Oh, go on, tell me.
John Wick 4.
For the Oscars. Oh, because there's like...
Yes, because they're adding in stunt category, aren't they?
Are they adding it in? Is the stunt category being added?
I believe they're adding in some sort of stunt category.
Breaking news straight from an Academy member's mouth.
Because they're adding in stunt category, aren't they?
Slash film.
I don't know. Did I read this in an article? I feel they were.
I
felt they were.
Have long overlooked stunts, and my God, it's pure artistry.
Yeah.
And it is incredibly, well, these days, it's all fucking rubber computer generated avatars.
That's why that's why these people should be getting their Oscars when someone's actually gone out then. Yeah,
go back,
absolutely.
Go back and give it to your man from Mad Max who broke his legs.
Give it to Richard Farnsworth, who was a stuntman and starred in The Straight Story. Yeah, Richard Farnsworth was a career stuntman.
Oh.
Absolutely.
Wasn't that also the case with Machete? What's your man, Machete? Danny Trejo.
Danny Trejo.
Is
really?
It Trejo or Trejo?
I always call him Trejo, but he just says, call me Danny.
I was going to say that back to you.
Nah.
I was like, just that.
Weird.
Tells me just call